Welcome to another episode of the Patch Notes. I'm here with my good buddy Prince Ali. Say hi, Prince.
What's up, guys?
What up? Now, we talked a little bit after last episode, and I think, Al, you had the idea that we should just kind of show what gives us credit, I guess, as people who are enthusiasts of gaming. So, if I remember correctly, your idea was we should explain how we got started in gaming, what type of games we like, things like that, so that way our listeners have a better idea of who we are as not just entertainers, but also gamers, right?
Yeah, why we can quote unquote be called pro gamers.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Now, do you want to go first or should I?
Well, let's. I will say let's talk what we're playing right now. I feel like
Oh,
that's
that's good.
because I think it might have changed a little bit for all of us, or for both of not all of us, but for me and you.
Definitely.
I know we're both playing Hearthstone because it's a new year for the Hearthstone patch, new expansion, so that's been really fun. I myself am still playing Helldivers. Great game, love it. And I'm picking up Valorant again, which
That's my
didn't think
fault.
I'd be
I'm
saying.
sorry. I'm so
And
sorry.
funny enough, not even your fault. It actually
What do you
isn't.
mean? I got you started to play it what, like a month ago?
You did, but you know what really got me back into it?
Hmm.
VCT. I've been watching a lot of VCT.
Oh.
Yep, and Sentinel's winning. I was like, all right, this is like the good old days.
Well,
I can wear
hey,
my jersey proudly.
bro, you know where it is. You just let me know whenever you want to throw down. I'm
Yes,
the
sir.
guy. All I do is obviously I've been playing Valorant, right? I typically when we say what you're gaming on, I don't include Valorant because it's like my turn off brain go burr moment.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, I've been playing Dragon's Dogma 2. Really enjoying the game now that I got it working. Uh, I would say probably don't buy it yet because it's just not super worth it as of time of recording. There's a lot of issues that people are having with different technical hardware. I have a 4090, like an enterprise level PC, and I still had issues until I figured out workarounds. Other than that, it's been Hearthstone with you, some Tekken 8, Helldivers 2, of course, and Final Fantasy 14 Online and WoW. Those are kind of the games I've been bouncing between. Pacific Drive is officially off my list for right now. I just got kind of bored of it after like 15 hours. So that's what
Understandable.
it is.
I will say we have been playing a lot of random Steam games
Oh
that
yeah,
Daz is like, "Hey, go play this." And I'm like, "Well, don't really feel like it. Also, don't own
and
it."
it's like threatened.
And then 2 seconds later, I get an email on my phone and it goes, "Hey, you have a gift in your Steam." And I go, "Okay, I guess I'll come play this."
Yeah.
What
Uh,
Oh Dear and
Last Train
Wormtown?
out of
Yeah,
Wormtown.
that's
Yeah.
what's the other one called? Both very dumb games, but very funny.
Oh yeah, I would say out of the two of them, Last Train out of Wormtown definitely the better of the
Oh
two,
yeah,
because only one person has to own it. And it's a good party game. It's up to 8 players. We played Oh Dear for like what 30 minutes, and we were like, "Wow, this was really cool for like
10
30
seconds.
minutes." Yeah,
I was done after like the third round. I was like, I'm kind of bored.
yeah. I was like,
I think maybe it's because we don't have enough people, but
maybe. I mean, but I think if it's a good game, should be able to stand on its feet with 3 people. We had 3 people,
yeah.
you know.
What was the
But
other one? Oh, Goofy Gorillas. We were playing that with Josh,
that's right. We
and
had a really good time.
that was actually really fun. And we played that for like an hour or two.
I think importantly though, if you're gonna play Goofy Gorillas and you only have 3 gamers like us, instead of the full lobby of which is by the way 8, which is mind blowing to me.
Yeah,
The map's too big, so set some ground rules for the homies. It'll
yeah,
help the game continue to be interesting for sure.
yeah. And then after about an hour of keeping those rules, break the rules and just do whatever.
Yeah, every once in a while, just fuck with your friends. Fuck with your
Yep,
friends.
exactly. But let's. What was your first console? And I don't mean like, oh, my parents had this, so I played a lot of it. Like your first console, you that was like yours. It stayed in your room. What was yours?
So for me, I really liked gaming, but I wasn't able to get my first console until like 6, I think, or 7. And it was a PS2. What about you?
Mine, funny enough, it was a Sega Genesis. And
Oh,
here's the
that's
thing:
so cool.
my dad found it at like a flea market, and obviously, dad's trying to win his weekends, and so he bought me it, and I played so much Sonic, and it was so much fun.
Oh,
But
Sonic's
funny
so much
enough,
fun.
PS2 was really kind of like my first one as well. Um, that was like my mom got it for my birthday, and I like played the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah.
Fell in love. Sony.
What was your
We
first
were
PS2 game?
Ratchet and Clank.
Bro, no way.
Yep.
The first games my parents bought me when they bought the PS2 was Ratchet and Clank because my grandpa had a copy that we'd play every once in a while. Because I'm not sure if you remember, Ratchet and Clank 1 had like a co-op thing you could
Yep.
do. And Kingdom Hearts 1.
Ratchet and
Played
Clank
those games on
and Jak
repeat.
and Dexter were the two I
Oh, Jak
played.
and Daxter. Oh my
a lot.
god, bro. Oh,
And
those
then
games were so good.
Yeah, I miss them. I miss the Jak and Dexter game because I think there's like a current like Ratchet and Clank for the PS5, but
It's really good.
is it?
I played
always
it. I'm picky when it comes to reboots.
Oh yeah,
I really like. I'm notoriously like the fun killer, which you wouldn't expect from me. But when someone's like, I really like the way they redid this, I'm like, it sucks compared to the original, so I'm not playing it.
yeah.
But the new one, actually really good. The gameplay is super smooth. I just wish maybe we could get another Jak and Daxter
Yes,
because
please. Do
I
you
was playing the
remember?
shit out of that on PS Plus recently.
Do you remember that mission where you had to chase that like fox thing on the beach?
I
And it
do.
was like I remember it took me forever to catch it, and I remember I think I got it like by like breaking the game technically.
Accidentally discover speedrunner strat. I see.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, the PS2 was just chef's kiss. Like, it was so good.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. I mean, I can't really think of a better console because like after that, I didn't get a console until the Wii released, right? And then I was playing GameCube games on
Same.
that. Real. We're just the
Yeah.
same. It's okay. We're just twinsies.
PS2.
It's fine.
This is my console journey is Sega Genesis, PS2, Wii, Wii U, PS3, 4, and then where I'm at now, 5. And then
So
for a really long time, I had no system at all, just because I wasn't like into gaming.
yeah.
I was
Whoa,
more
wait,
just
hold on,
like
hold on. You're saying you weren't into gaming, but you're on a gaming podcast? That's crazy.
I had a period where I was like, I don't really. I was that brown kid that just loved soccer way too much. So
That's fair.
like all I did was go outside, play soccer, or I rode my bike to the local park because I knew kids would be playing soccer there. So I was just like, I don't care about it.
You know what? To be fair, that was kind of me with I play the alto sax. Fun lore drop. I've been playing the alto sax since I was in 6th grade. And that's actually what originally got me into audio equipment because I quit band because I didn't like the director because he was a shithead. And sure enough, I bought audio equipment and then I started streaming, which brought me kind of back towards gaming. And then I started playing in esports, and that's actually
Yeah.
how you and I met.
Yep, that's crazy though.
Oh yeah.
I've always had games around me though. Like my mom and aunt played. My mom had a Super Nintendo. I mean, we actually still have that Super Nintendo. Somehow it
Oh, that's
still
awesome.
works, and we still have most of the games. My aunt had a PS1. We played the crap out of Tomb Raider.
Oh, PS1 Tomb Raider's so good.
Yep, triangle titties.
I just didn't really like the butler. He always scared the shit out of me as a kid.
I know what you're
Oh,
talking about. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
And then I'd
always
like
just
leave him
been
in the
like,
freezer to like get him to stop following me around.
yeah. It's crazy to think that I've been gaming for so long. That like my mom gamed, my aunt's game.
It's in your blood.
Yeah. But
I
it's fun.
Oh yeah, and I get it too. My dad actually was so like addicted to gaming that when he joined the military, he had to quit because like
The
he was like,
military
"Fuck,"
or gaming?
yeah. Oh no. Quit gaming. If he could have quit the military, I'm sure he would have. But he was like, "Fuck, man, I'm having a kid. I gotta figure it out." And like anytime he sees me gaming, he's like, "Damn, man, I really want to start, but I know I would never go back to work."
Yeah.
But
That's how it be.
right?
But it's such a. I mean, time flies like that too, though, when you're playing.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean, I went from PS2 to Wii, and then there was a really big jump. between that and then I got an Xbox 360, and my mom spiked it, which was not super cool. And then she made me clean it up because I wasn't supposed to be playing, and then she threw it on the ground and was like, "Fuck you." And I was like, "Damn." I'm sure we've all had an experience or two like that with our parents where they get upset with us for gaming. Um,
I had one where it was like 3 a.m. I didn't even realize it was 3 a.m. though. She just happened to like get up to use the restroom or something, and she's like, "Why are you still on the game? It's 3 a.m." And I go, "I swear I didn't know." And she's like,
I
"That's
got
it."
locked in. I'm sorry, mom.
Yeah. And she was like, "Give me the controllers," and I was like, "Okay." Here." I was like, "Wait, I need to turn off the system." She goes, "Dad, figure it out." And I was like, "Ah." I was like, "I don't want to unplug this thing until you break a system." She goes, "I don't care. Turn it off." And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." To bed. And I was like, "Okay."
Fuck. I get you. I thank
Yeah.
God though my uncle got me another Xbox 360. He had a spare when he bought the brand new one that was slim, and I got his old one. And then after that
Nice.
PS4. Then I bought myself a Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo DS and a PSP. So all the
A
games I didn't get
DS.
to play when I was
I
a kid.
forgot I had a DS.
Bro,
Dude.
DSs were the shit.
You know what's sad is I'd probably still have my DS if I didn't wash it.
Fuck. I had the
Yeah.
original blue DS because that's what I always wanted as a kid. So when I got my
I
first job, I bought one.
I had a DSi.
Ooh,
I got that for
that's nice.
Christmas, and I remember being like, "This thing's so cool!" Like, and but like they were so expensive that my
Oh yeah, they were like
grandfather,
$300 back in
yeah,
like 2009. It's
yeah,
fucking insane.
my grandfather was like, "Here you go, figure out the games because I don't have money for games." But my mom, he didn't told my mom that he was buying this, so she didn't think to, oh, let's get him some DS games. She got me other stuff. She was like, "You're gonna have to wait." I think I got like one game with it. It was like some like Phineas and Ferb game that I played the hell out of. Like, it's like, yeah. And then like, what was it called? It was some like Marvel fighting game that my cousin had that he didn't want because he was like, "It's too kiddish. I'm too grown up for
It's
this
probably
one." And
Lego Marvel.
no, it wasn't Lego Marvel. But it was definitely some like, it was definitely meant for like little kids because it was like a super simple fighting game. It was like A and B is all you do. And I was like, "Let's
Um,
go, 2 games."
that might have been Marvel Nemesis, I want to say.
I'm curious now. Let's see. Marvel DS games.
Because I know it was on the PS2. That's why I know it. I'm fairly certain it was on the DS as well.
Superhero Squad.
Superhero Squad. Okay.
Yeah, and that I think that's like a kid show too. So
Yeah,
it
that
makes a
sounds
lot of
about right.
sense. Um,
No, but
yeah.
I get you because like I don't know about you, but like because my parents were so like anti gaming, but well, it was more my mom than my dad. So he's like, here's Star Wars Battlefront 2, kiddo.
Mhm.
Just don't tell your mom. So I started playing on that, and that was like really the last PS2 game I got, other than like Jack and Daxter and stuff I'd get from my grandpa who'd send me stuff. And
Yeah.
after that, it was really just figure it the fuck out, or family's gonna get you it. So every
Mhm.
game I missed as a kid, I bought myself with my first job. So like, bought myself a PSP so I could play Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Bought myself a DS, the blue DS I always wanted, so I could play all of the Game Boy Advance Pokemon, and then all of the DS Pokemon games. And then my best friend and from like elementary school to high school gave me his old 3DS, the original one, when he got the new one, and let me play whatever the fuck I want on it because he had all the 3DS games, and it was so much
Yeah.
fun, so much fun. And I think that's what's great about gaming. Above all else, it really brings people together.
Yeah. I PS2. I mean, I think the last game I had was actually like one of the Ratchet and like Deadlock. I think Ratchet and Clank Deadlock. Um, I my mom doesn't remember why, but I guess I had gotten into some kind of like really big trouble, but not big enough to like get permanently like you're not allowed to go outside, you're not allowed to hang out with family and friends and stuff like that. But I guess it was just enough trouble that they went to GameStop, traded in all of my games for cash, and then bought one that my mom's boyfriend at the time played, and then the next day the PS2 was just gone.
Damn.
Yeah. And I never remember what happened. I don't, it's forever ago. But
Oh yeah.
then just after that, didn't have a console for a while. And then my mom bought like a Wii off a friend. Oh, and it was when the Wii like had released that like motion sensor thing on the bottom for their
Oh yeah.
controllers for the resorts and other games.
Yeah, like the improved motion sensor tracker or whatever that you'd plug in
Yeah.
where you would usually plug in the nunchuck.
Yep. And I got that, and then I was gifted a PS3 for Christmas once again by my grandfather. Um, and what's funny is my cousin had just sold his PS3 and his games to buy like a gaming laptop at the time, so he didn't have any games. So I was like out of games again. And my mom was like, Christmas, I bought you a tablet and other stuff, so you'll just have to wait. And then I had that PS3 for the longest time, and I just stopped playing it just because I started playing games on my phone and tablet and stuff. Really got into mobile gaming, and that's what like took up all my time. And then
Okay, wait. Let me cut in here for a second. I think I'm definitely in the minority actually. I fucking hate mobile gaming.
I love mobile gaming. I
I
don't know about
hate
you.
it. The only games I really play on mobile are like Hearthstone. Used to play some Pokemon Go. Um, and Honkai Star Rail. That's it.
I will tell you right now the mobile games I have: Clash of Clans,
Okay.
Hearthstone, this Invincible auto battler game, Matchmasters, which is like a
Wait, Invincible like the
match.
comic series?
Yes,
Oh fuck, that might. Oh damn it,
it's literally it's log on, do some things, set stuff to fight, and then I close it.
bro. That might get me. That's
Um,
bad.
Matchmasters, which is this game like match the colors and power up spawn, and you playing against other people, and you got to beat their score. Uh, Monopoly Go,
I've
which
seen
is
you play Monopoly Go. Oh yeah,
which
and I'm always like, what the fuck is that? And you're like Monopoly, and I'm like, okay.
what's funny is Josh plays it. He still plays it. Chandler used to play it because I got him into it as well. But actually, enough, we got Chandler into it because we were talking about this token you can get to be your character, and it was Mjolnir. And he goes, "Well, now I have to play this because I want to see if I can get it." And then our buddy Sam he also played it. We were at Ant, and me and Josh were talking about it, and they were like, "This seems fun. We'll play it." Um, and I've been playing that for a while. And then what is the other one? Where is it? Top Troops, which is another like Clash of Clans, like build your base, fight things, stuff
Okay.
like that. Um, because I had a Kindle, and then I got an iPad, so
Oh,
you
that's
know,
dangerous.
yeah. So I was like, ooh, I can really play some games on this. And then when I nothing, the PS3 literally just sat in the living room collecting dust. And I remember I was like, well, I don't want this anymore. I'm not gonna play this. I don't even have games for this anymore. The Ethernet port doesn't work. The HDMI port is given out. Let me just go sell this to a pawn shop. They're like, we'll give you $60. And I was like, $60 for a PS3 in 2018? Deal. I
That's
was
like
like,
a
deal.
one
And
thing I
what's
do. One thing I do regret a little bit is trading my PS4 when I got my PS5 because I had a buddy from esports that hooked me up with a coupon, basically that was like, okay, you're gonna go to this retailer and they're gonna give you this much off the PS5. I'm like, cool, and but I couldn't get it online and I couldn't get it delivered. It had to be pickup only. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
and then they were like, oh well, we'll take your PS4 and like get this much more off. And I'm sure you remember when I first moved to Texas, I was brokey as fuck,
Yeah.
like terminally broke. So I was like, shit, I really want a PS5 so I can play with my now, fiance, soon to be wife. And I just bit the bullet. I was like, fuck it. And it came with God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
What is it with gamers and constantly making bad financial decisions for the next
Uh,
console?
because the brain cell that makes the good financial decisions is with someone else.
Yeah,
It's
you know what it is? It's like at that point you're borrowing it.
yeah.
Whenever I need to not make a financial decision, then I borrow yours. It makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense
Now,
now that
when
I'm
you say
thinking
that
about
for
it.
the PS4, I got fired from HEB, and like that check was only like $200, and I didn't know how like soon I'd find my next job. And I was like, well, shit, I need groceries and I need all these other things. So I went and I pawned my PS4 because when you pawn stuff, you get more money or whatever.
Yeah.
Pawned it and then found a job like immediately later. And I thought about it. I was like, dude, I didn't even play that PS4 anymore. I go, especially because I had my gaming laptop already. I
Yeah.
was like, so I was like, they can fucking keep it. So I called them and I was like, hey, I pawned my PS4. I'm just gonna go ahead and let y'all keep it. Blah 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 blah. And the dude was like, you're already past due, so yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that works out.
You're like, bet. Damn, I'm gonna have to keep that trick. I didn't realize pawn shops give you more. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just say, yeah, I'm gonna pawn it instead of selling it to them, and then just never come back.
You will get an annoying letter in the mail like 5 days before, like, it's like the come make this payment, and then you'll get another annoying letter being like, hey, come make your payment.
And then you're just like, never mind, it's cool. Thank you for the $400 for the PS4 in 2020.
Yeah.
That's
But it's
awesome.
it's just such a good pastime gaming.
Now, let me ask you, because I know we've been waffling a little bit from the first question. I got a really good question for you.
What's up?
What was like the game series that was really important to you growing up? Like if you had to choose one, because I also wanted to quickly point out before you answer that, did you know that all the Ratchet and Clank naming conventions are all a sex joke?
Yes, I did know that. I did know that. I found that out a couple years ago. The one gaming series most important to me.
Mm-hmm. As a kid, right? Like growing up. Not
as a
now.
kid?
Spyro. Yeah, like what was most, let me rephrase, what was most influential to you?
Spyro.
Spyro? Fuck
yep.
Yeah.
Spyro 100%. What about you?
I think it's got to be Kingdom Hearts, man. Like
Kingdom Hearts.
I went from like dirt broke when my parents were like super broke when they first had me. And then like my dad started working in tech before tech got really big.
Mm-hmm.
So like suddenly we were able to like eat something other than TV dinners, PB&J, and mac and cheese, right? Yeah. So they started taking us to Disney. And I remember the first time I played Kingdom Hearts was I think it was on a GameCube, or maybe it was a PlayStation 2, at Disney babysitting because my parents wanted to go on a little dinner date, and we lived in the area because we were leasing. And when I actually finally got the game, like the messages about like friendship and like this, that, the other with my autistic ass was, oh my God, I love friendship. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. I'm so happy. Oh, friendship can be anything. Oh my goodness. Is Mickey and Goofy? No way. You know, like it was just like, and like swords, like boom, you got me. You got me, bro.
Yeah.
And then that got me into Final Fantasy and it was over. It was curtains. Just fucking curtains.
No, yeah, I totally get that though. I'm gonna stick with Spyro.
You think Spyro? What made Spyro like? What influenced Spyro for you? Like what did that do for you as a kid?
What's really funny is I played Spyro at my house that my grandmother cleaned. And the guy, one of the ladies, let's call her Francis's son had a PlayStation, and she was always like, oh, because sometimes I would have to go to work with her, and she'd be like, your grandson can go play in Zachary's room. He has a PlayStation in there. He won't mind. And so I would just play on like whatever save file was there, and I would just, it was just such like a core memory of just like, oh, it's Friday. I have to go with grandma to where she goes clean this house, but I get to eat a cool snack and play Spyro.
Hell yeah. I like that.
And I remember once he was home, and I like walked into his room and he's like, who are you? And I was like, oh, my grandmother cleans your house. I was just gonna come play Spyro. And he goes, you're the one that's been beating the game. And he goes, I sometimes log on and you get so far and I get confused. And I go, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So by the way,
I'm this like 8-year-old kid that is just like, oh, hello, good sir, you are an adult.
You know what? That actually reminds me. The first time I got to play on a PlayStation, before I even got to go to my uncle's house, was we were living in Mystic, Connecticut, and there was this really nice neighbor who had this. I feel so bad now, but like they had this kid who was in high school, right? And they'd be like, why don't you let this fucking 5-year-old dopey kid come over and hang out? So we'd sit there, and he would just watch me play Ratchet and Clank. And I remember there, that scene where you're like grinding and you have to jump over like the mines and shit?
Yep.
He didn't realize you could smack them in front of you. But my autistic ass was like, why can't you just smack them in front of you? So I'm like, thump, 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 thump. And he was like, oh my God, what the hell? You just gave me nostalgia
But
whiplash, dude. That's
it's the
also
it's the
that's the
funniest thing,
apartment I
right?
first watched Dragon Ball Z in.
Nice.
Oh,
It's the funniest thing though, because like as a kid, right, you beat these things and you did this. I tried to play Pyro like a year ago. Couldn't
yeah.
even beat level 1. Couldn't even get past
Oh
level
yeah.
1.
I tried
And
to
I
play
was
the
like,
remaster, and I was like, "What the fuck? What was I doing as a kid?"
yeah,
Like,
what was my IQ as a child that I was like, yes,
right?
this I can do this. I
Right.
can do this blindfolded.
It's
And
got to
now I'm
be like we were
like,
huffing paint or something in the
oh,
meantime,
easily,
right?
easily 100%. But now I'm like, how do I tie a shoe?
Yeah, you leave and you realize you don't have a belt on that day, and you're like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
Or like the other
No,
day,
but
I
like,
left the house and like I had the sticker on my shirt from when I bought it like 2 months ago.
yeah. It's
Oh,
just crazy though. It's like gaming creates these memories that I still remember from being so little. Like, why
oh
do I
yeah.
remember that? Like, why do I remember that? But it's it's such a staple that it's so much fun.
Like
Okay.
one of my earliest memories, right? Speaking of gaming, kind of like forcing core memories upon us,
Yeah.
is we're living in Wellington, Florida, because my dad had just got a job that he wasn't qualified to do at all. So we just spent the first like month of us living there studying the new job he had to do, and
Hmm.
like faking it till he made it. Which you know, I think that's genetic at this point. You've seen my resume. I've done all this wacky shit that I wasn't qualified for. Um, and I am sitting down on the bare tile because Florida houses all have tile.
Yeah.
Um, Playing the first area of Kingdom Hearts, unsure how the fuck to get past Destiny Island
Yeah.
because it was like my first real video game experience. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's no internet, like I can't just fucking look up YouTube how to get off Destiny Island. So I have to just sit there and bang my head against the wall until I figure it out because I'm not reading most of the shit because I'm like 6, you
Yeah. You're
know?
just clicking A, and you're just like, yep, 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 yep. Don't
Yeah,
care, don't care, don't care, don't care. All right. Now what do I do?
yeah,
And then
exactly. And
it's
I think that's one thing I think is part of the reason why like our generation especially has pretty decent critical thinking, not like necessarily long-term thinking, but short-term problem solving. Is because we grew up in an age where you couldn't just Google, how do I do this?
yeah.
How do I do that? You
Or
know?
or if you had the guide, right? Let's say you got lucky enough and your parents also bought you the book of the game guide. You had a
Oh, I
very
miss game guides
you
and
had a
manuals, bro.
yeah, you had a very specific problem that the game guide definitely didn't have like
Bro,
the
that's
answer
the
for.
worst when you discover a bug. Oh,
And you're just like, well, I guess I just cry now.
yeah. I remember in all of my friends had gotten Kingdom Hearts Re Chain of Memories. And I somehow found a way to like when I had saved, I guess I had done something dopey and my deck wouldn't come back out. So I'd get into a fight and I'd have no cards. So I couldn't do anything but just run around.
Hmm.
And I was like 10ish hours into the game, which when you're a kid is a lot of time, you
Oh
know?
yeah,
So I was like, fuck.
especially when back then games were only like 20 hours
Yeah,
tops.
exactly. Like, so I'm halfway through the game and I'm just ripping my hair out and eventually I had to restart. I've never finished Chain of Memories. Literally ever. Because it just left such a bad taste in my mouth.
That's funny. Okay, there's one game. If you one game that hasn't been remastered that you would want to remaster for, what would it be?
Hmm. Do you have one in mind?
I do.
Go for it. Give me some time.
Nicktoons Unite. Do you
Oh my
remember this
god!
game?
Bro, I loved Nicktoons Unite and the sequel. Oh my god. Danny Phantom and Tinny Turner teaming up? Bro! How did you just rip that memory out of the back of my skull?
Because I thought about it
Oh.
the other day because I saw on TikTok um this thing of like this is the greatest crossover ever, and it was the Timmy Turner and Jimmy
Jimmy
Neutron
Neutron?
crossover. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, wasn't there a game where like they went around to like all the worlds?
It was
And
just Kingdom Hearts, but Nicktoons. That's why I
yeah,
liked it.
yep.
Like literally, if I just said the plot points of Kingdom Hearts to you, and like without any names or like any game specific terminology, and Nicktoons Unite, you would not be able to tell them apart.
Oh yeah,
They are the
100%.
same game. Honestly, Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper deserves a full reboot, like
It
the
does.
Ratchet and Clank treatment. Sly
Yes.
Cooper was such a
Agreed.
good game series that hit some really nuanced like points for kids to be learning at their age.
Yeah.
um and I got to say, man, it was just so influential, I guess, as a kid for me to be a bit more empathetic,
Yeah.
you know?
Agreed.
Because I know we got that PS3 collection, but we haven't had shit since then. And you can't play the PS3 collection on PS4 or PS5 because they refuse to allow you to redo it. So you have to play the original versions of the game that don't run at 60 FPS, and the resolution's bad, so it doesn't stretch across your stream properly. It's just bad. The whole experience is bad. If you're gonna play Sly Cooper, just emulate it.
Yep,
Yo-ho.
emulate.
You know?
Yeah, that's Nicktoons Unite will always hold a special place in my heart. The game was so good.
Oh yeah. What's a game that you quit that you eventually came back to and like were kind of upset that you quit it too early?
Oh, game that I quit and came back to?
Yeah. If you need a second, I got you.
Yeah, go.
I originally played Demon Souls for PS3 because one of my friends was a weirdo and bought it, right? And this is back in the days when like we get like one game every few months if
Yeah,
we're
you
really
get
lucky.
birthday, Christmas, and then maybe you might get one or another randomly.
Yeah, like or sometimes you'd get one on Easter in your Easter basket if you
Yeah.
were really lucky and it wouldn't have as much candy that year. But like I played it and I just obviously it's really fucking hard, right? And I think I'm maybe like 13 or 14. And it's just so terribly hard. I just put down the controller and I'm like, I don't want to play this game anymore. And I left the sleepover because that's how frustrated I was. Because he kept trying to get me to play. He's like, it's really good. And I'm like, no, it's trash. You're trash. I'm going home. And he wouldn't stop talking about it. But when I came back to it later, my re-entry to the Souls series was Dark Souls 3 when it first came out. Because it was, well into high school at that point. And it was just fantastic. And I went back and I played Demon Souls, and I still haven't played Dark Souls 1 or 2, but I've also played Elden Ring, which you've seen me play it so weirdly. I play it by just using my bare fists, or like using just shields.
Yeah.
Because I'm an absolute nut job. I just wish I gave it a better chance first, so that way I could have experienced all that hype leading up to Dark Souls 3. Because I think that was the most hyped any of the Souls games have ever gotten.
BioShock.
Oh my god! BioShock was so good! You put down BioShock?
Yep. Because I just
Too spooky?
no, just I hated it. I was like, this fucking sucks. I hate it. Same thing, making me mad. And then I came back to it in my PC era, and I was like, this is one of the greatest games of all time.
I know, bro. I'm so excited about Judas. Why don't wait? We got 5 minutes left. Why don't we go ahead and talk about games we're looking forward to? I'm gonna put
Games
mine
looking forward
as
to?
I've got 2. I got Judas, which if you
I don't
don't
think
know,
I have anything. Just because I'm kind of always like, I wait for sales.
that's fair. I think the first game I've bought as of late, there have been 2 games that I bought that I haven't bought on sale, and usually you know me, I'm like a thrifty motherfucker. I hate buying full price games. Is Helldivers 2 and the new Final Fantasy 14 expansion, because the pre-order bonus was too good to give up. I think the 2 games I'm most excited for are Judas, which is being created by one of the showrunners for BioShock, right? Or I guess game runners. It looks amazing. It's a BioShock roguelite, which I am so interested in.
What?
It sounds
Okay.
amazing, right? And it's in space. Bro, these are the 3 things I like the most. You know me. You know
Yeah.
this. Put a robot in it, and I'll just about, like, I'll only play that game for the rest of my life, right? Now, other than Judas, I'm very excited for it when it comes out in 30 years. Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
30 years, Jesus Christ.
Dude, it's traded hands like 3 times. But to be fair, like other games have too and came out just fine. So maybe I'm just being a little baby who hates waiting, which is also true. But,
I think it
I wouldn't
already
even
came.
care if it comes out broken like Cyberpunk
I
did.
think it
I'm
already
literally
came
sitting in a
out.
Cyberpunk
Maybe
chair
it
right now.
didn't, but the sequel to the for Horizon game.
Oh yeah, Forbidden West.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, dude, it's the complete edition is on Steam.
Oh, good to know.
Oh wait, no, that's Forbidden West is the first one, isn't it? The second one is fuck.
Whatever it's called, you know what I'm talking
Whatever
about.
it's called. It's cool. It's really good. They're coming out with a PC port at some point in the next few months. I imagine they'll do that release date. I'm excited. You're excited. Everybody's excited.
South Park.
Oh my god, dude.
First
All
two
right,
were really fun.
we're gonna have to play that. You let me know when you get it and I'll buy it. I don't have anybody to play it with. And you know how I feel about shooter games. I'm not gonna just play it alone. That's cringe.
We give you 5 consoles right now. Rank them 1 to 5.
Okay.
Atari,
5.
Genesis. No. Damn, dog.
I hated the Atari. I've
right,
got a
all right,
deep-seated hatred for it.
All right. Then that's where we're at then. Genesis,
Mhm.
Wii U,
Okay.
PS2, Xbox One.
Okay, so it's gonna be PS2, Wii U, Xbox One, Genesis, Atari. Let me explain. Put your pitchforks down, okay? I know what this sounds like. I know. I get it. PS2, obviously we've been talking about PS2 games for like the past 40 minutes, just about. That's explainable, right? It's literally the best-selling console of all time. Nothing's ever gonna come close. It's also the longest dev cycle for a console ever because so many people had it.
Yeah.
So admittedly, a lot of people were using it as a DVD player, but I digress. Wii U, oh my god, the party games on the Wii U were so god tier, like unmatched by any console at the time and for like the next 4 years, 5 years until the Nintendo Switch came out. All right. That was the life of the party. I didn't get to own one. They're so cool. I would love to own one day, but they're so expensive now. And Al knows where I'm at logistically right now, and I still won't buy it because it's too high ticket of an item for me to justify buying used.
Yeah.
Xbox One, I think it's really dope. I think it really reintroduced backwards compatibility. It introduced Game Pass, which really helped sell the subscription model to other companies. I think it's done a lot for gaming. Hasn't done a lot for me. I've never owned one. But I think I love the Xbox One controller I have. I like it more than my PS5 controller, if we're going to be honest, except for the D-pad. The D-pad's a little too knobby for me. Genesis, I love Sonic. My grandpa introduced me to Sonic when I was little. I used to watch Sonic X. Like, Sonic is ingrained into my childhood very heavily. Atari can suck my balls. Now, are there any other burning questions for you, sir?
Nope, that's all I had.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the patch notes this week as much as I did. Next week, we'll definitely have a bit more of a structured podcast like what you're used to, but we realized when we were talking about it off stream that we don't have something that makes us be credible as gamers, and I hope today at least showed you a little bit into the insanity that is our lives, our pasts, and why we're funny, I guess. I had a really good time today. I hope you did, Al.
Of course.
And you know what? I'm really excited for next week. If you've been enjoying this podcast, definitely try and catch some of our other podcasts. We've got a Doctor Who podcast with me and Josh. It's really fantastic. I love it. I'm getting to know Doctor Who. It's beautiful. And we're doing a new, very special Zeros to Heroes podcast this week as well. So keep an eye out for that. But without further ado, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much for listening to the patch notes. It's been great. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Take care.